A lot of people that watch this want to write. How do you write, and how do you consistently write these great books?
Well, thank you. It's very kind. I like to write. I guess that's a help for me. You like a quiet environment. I mean, I can write on a plane, but not usually. I have two writing studios in our two homes, and one's on the water, one's in the mountains, so they're pretty quiet places. And you get what's called flow. The Japanese call it satori. A long distance runner calls it the runner's high. Writers and artists call it flow. But you start writing and you lose yourself, and you just keep writing. And I've had periods where I'm writing. I don't use a keyboard. I don't do it by hand. I'm writing, and then I'll stop, and then I've lost track of time, and I look at what I've written. I don't even know where it came from. It's like whether you're channeling something or you're tapping into something. It's not like I slaved over every word. It just flows. Now you got to proofread it and do all that stuff. There's a lot of editing involved, but you almost don't know where it came from. And so having the time is a big deal. I mean, if you're doing like a 9-to-5 job or something, that's difficult. My children are all adults now. They're all doing extremely well. So I think it would be harder with small children around. I mean, you want to be a good parent. So not having the distractions, having the time, which is a luxury. You do start with an outline. It's not all stream of consciousness. You kind of know. And then I would say a little sense of urgency or mission, like, well, why are you doing it? Like, how you do it is one thing, but why are you doing it? And my answer is that having lived and worked and known and conversed with elites for decades, because it's what I did for a living, I know a lot about their world. I actually, before I went to law school, I got a graduate degree in international economics from the School of Advanced International Studies, which is basically boot camp for the IMF. Like at that school, Tim Geithner went there, Wolf Blitzer, a lot of distinguished alumni. When you leave there, you either go into banking or you go to the IMF, or maybe you go work for some part of the government that's with three-letter initials. So I actually went to law school. I didn't start my career right out of that. I got a degree in international economics, then went to law school, then got another law degree, and then started in banking. But I had that technical training. When the IMF speaks, I can translate their jargon into our plain English. And I see what's going on. And I know that everyday citizens around the world don't. And why should they? I mean, they shouldn't be experts in all this. So sometimes I feel like an anthropologist who goes out in the jungle to this exotic tribe of monetary elites, studies them, comes back to civilization and explains them in plain English. I mean, part of what I do is read these, you're 24 layers deep on the IMF website. There's some technical paper full of jargon. I'm enough of a geek that I read it and I understand it, and I can tell people what they're doing. Tell them the SDR is coming, the end of the dollar is coming, this lockdown plan is already in place. The U.S. is operating under state of emergency. How many people know that? President Bush declared a state of emergency 2 weeks after 9/11. Understandable. But by law, it has to be renewed annually. For 16 years, President Bush and President Obama have renewed the state of emergency. America is one phone call from martial law. So these are all the things I see. So this is what I'm telling people in the book, so they don't have to be victims.
Yeah. Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.